Hello everyone, are you ready for another adventure? It's me, Woki, and I'm back with another Fate Grand Order video. And today, I'm going to be talking about the Pilgrimage Festival, Part 7. That's right, I'm not doing more Waxy Moon Chronicles, though a video of that is going up about that later, but I'm here to talk about the Pilgrimage Festival. That's going to be today's video. I hope you like it. If you do, feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And now, let's begin talking about it, shall we? So the Pilgrimage Festival, the campaign will start on the 21st, which is also the day that these will all be coming in. If you don't know what the Pilgrimage Festival is, there have been 7 of them so far. There's more to come. But this is their way to bring in old welfare servants, which are free-to-play servants, back into the game without having to rerun their event. And you're able to add them. They're going to be added to the evocation shop, which you can then purchase and have for yourself and do all that good stuff. And they'll be added on the 21st, and then the campaigns that all relate to them should end around the 3rd, but I'll go over that a little bit more when I talk about them down below. But the units that are going to be added are right here. It is going to be Altera the Santa, Karna, Jalter Lily, Santa Lily, Jalter Santa Lily, she has a very long name, and then Salter Santa. They're all going to be added to the shop, and you can also get servant coins from them, so you can get their appends up and get them to level 120, along with their essential materials if you don't have them, so you can get the bucket of chicken, the Gilles de Reyes plush. Yeah, what Karna has, it's like, I think, a punching bag of some kind. If I look down here, I should be able to see what it is. It's a Santa bag. Santa bag. My bad. So, as you can see here, the new additions to the shop are right there, and with it, it comes the same basic thing that's always. You can buy one copy of the first copy of them for 200, and then all the additional MP copies of them will also be 200 for a total of 4 of them. The bucket of chicken, which is just a nice way of saying ascension. This is the ascension material for all of them, costs 50, and there's 4 of them, as there always should be, because of the 4 ascension you need and you go through. And then servant coins are 48. There's 10 coins per exchange, so when you buy one of them, you'll get 10 of them. And those cost 50. This is where a lot of my evocation leaves end up going to, because I have all these. I just need to get their servant coins, and boy, howdy, do you sure do go through a lot of them when you buy all the servant coins. And that should be there for all units, but you'll notice that there's something a little bit weird with Altera's, where it says on February 21st it'll be available for exchange, but then the coins don't have that restriction. We'll go over why it's like that pretty soon, but you can see it right here. So there's something you need to know. You can add Altera the Santa to your roster by clearing the main quest in Main Interlude Merry Christmas in the Underworld. Please note that you cannot add her to your roster through exchange rare prisms or exchange leaves or evocation in the Da Vinci Workshop. So you have to actually play through this and get her. So when you play through the event normally, as you progress, you'll get her to join you temporarily, and then you can officially get her. And that's also, you get her ascension material through playing through the main quest Main Interlude Merry Christmas. If you don't know what a main interlude was, it was their way of bringing back. So the funny thing about main interludes, it was their way to bring back events that had important story bits to them that were tied to an event that was likely never going to be coming back. In this case, this one was needed because Ereshkigal's entire reason to be able to join us had to be told through an event, because they make it pretty clear in Babylonia she could not join us, so that they had to make an entire event to justify joining her. And then they realized, well, crap, she's an extremely popular character, so we need to just add this. So they added a main interlude. So long story short, after that big digression I just had, you have to clear main interlude Merry Christmas, and then you'll be able to get Altera the Santa join your team. And then in terms of these extra copies, the way you were usually able to get them is that you exchange 2 rare prisms for them. So that's going to stay that way for the time being, in case, because believe it or not, I actually probably have more spare rare mana prisms than I have evocation leaves. So if you wanted to save yourself about I think it's 800 or so, if I remember right, if my math is correct. Yes, it's 800 for 4 copies. It would be 1,000 for a total of all of them. But if you want to save yourself 800 of those evocation leaves, you could just use rare mana prisms and exchange them from that. But then after it hits the February 21st at 1959, and then basically the second day roll hits on the 21st, that will no longer be possible. But if you want to do it while you still have the chance to, then you can, and hopefully that explains it good enough. If you are still unable to know what any of that means, feel free to leave a comment and I will explain to you again. I swear it's not that complicated. I just hope I said it correctly. Some rank up quests are going to be coming for Santa Lily, along with Salter as well, Reindeer Drive and La Grace Fille Noël, which I completely fucked up how to say that. Both of these are going to be coming on the 21st, and you must own the servant in question and have reached final ascension to be able to do these rank up quests. Pilgrimage Festival Part 7 commemorative special daily login bonus. So of course, logging in daily will get you a total of a bunch of Saint Quartz and a bunch of evocation leaves, 10 Saint Quartz in total and 600 evocation leaves. So make sure to log in every single day. There's nothing more you need to do than remember to log in every single day. But if you only want to log on the days with Saint Quartz, then I guess you have to show up on the first day and then show up again 3 days later, show up again 3 days later, and then the day after that 3 days later, and then 3 days later. It's just easier if you just show up every single day. You know what I'm saying? Just do that. Submissions will be added to the master missions for a limited time. Oh, I should also say this one will go from the 21st until the 4th. Obviously because of all these different ones, but you won't be able to get them if you miss the day. So limited missions, clearing all the missions will give you 100 evocation leaves, a crystallized lore, 10 Saint Quartz, as well as a special craft essence that features the main artwork for Pilgrimage Festival Part 7. These will be added on the 21st, and then you can complete them up until February the 3rd, and then the claim period goes up until February 10th at the very least. And these are the current ones that we got going. Just level up one of the 4-star servants. Level, if you already have one of these, you'll likely already complete all of them, except for I think the one where it says that you have to put them in a starting member and complete one quest. If you already have them, they're bond to at least level 2, and you have them to at least level 40, these will automatically unlock for you. So just put them on a team where it doesn't matter where, complete one quest and you're good to go. And this is the commemorative CE, which is just really nice art on it. There'll be a gain ×2 EXP from enhancements. And these will be eligible for Karna Santa, Altera the Santa, Jalter Lily, Jalter Santa Lily, and then Santa Altar as well. If you are looking to get a unit to level 120, then that is specifically one of these 4. This is your best chance to do it. I always tell everyone that my experience with this, which is that I've gotten only a select amount of units to level 120, and all of them have been a giant pain in my ass to get them there, except for the one, which was Samba Santa, which thanks to this double EXP during the Pilgrimage Festival that she was a part of, I was able to get her there in about maybe 3 days, compared to the other units, which took me weeks, if not months, to get them to level 120. So again, if you really like any one of these 4, take advantage of them and get them to level 120 during this period, because it is so much easier than trying to do it any other time. You're just gonna have to trust me on that one. And then there will also be chance of super and great suck chance ×2 for servant enhancements. During the period below, chance of super and great suck chance will be tripled when performing. Wait, the chance of super, double EXP, and great, triple EXP. When performing servant enhancement will be doubled for a limited time. Don't want to say anything wrong. And that will be from the 21st until February 3rd. As always, QP cost for servant enhancement for a limited time. During the period below, QP cost will be halved for a limited time when performing servant enhancements for all servants, so not just the select few of them. That will go from the 21st until February 3rd. Once again, please note that servant skill enhancement, ascensions, bond leveling doesn't count, basically. They're just saying, please note that the servant skill enhancement, ascension, servant evolution, bond level, limit, release, command code engraving, command card enhancement, append skill enhancement, servant noble phantasm enhancement, apologetis, unlock wardrobe, and class score will not be eligible for this campaign. Just simply servant enhancement. That's it, nothing else. It is funny, it was like, I thought that was pretty clear, but they just wanted to make it pretty clear. You can't do this with skills, you can't do it with anything else. It's very funny that they put so many caveats on it. It's longer than the actual announcement. Anyway, AP cost for Ember Gathering Quest for a limited time will be half off. And the schedule for it will all be for all Ember Gathering quests, alright? And that will be from the 21st till, again, February 3rd. And then Pilgrimage Festival Part 7 servant receive 20% increase to bond points gained within all quest for a limited time. So 20% bonus to them from the 21st till February 3rd. That will go to all the Santas that I've mentioned before in the past, which is again, Karna Santa, Altera the Santa. Now I'm really starting to mess it up. I started saying it again because I thought it was funny. I may as well keep doing it. Jalter, Santa Lily, and then Santa Altar. And then Pilgrimage Festival Part 7 servants also receive a 50% increase to attack for a limited time. And that is again 50% to Karna Santa, Altera the Santa, Santa. Jelter Santa Lily and Santa Altar. And of course, these are all of them here, but there are going to be banners related to them, which we'll take a look at right here. That's right. From the 21st to the 31st, these units will be here, which is going to be Summer Altar, Ishtar, Ereshkigal, and Vritra, because it seems a little bit of the odd one out there, but it's because she was from Santa Carna's event, so it would make sense to bring her back here. And then also, of course, the CEs that are come from those specific events that they come from will also be tied to them. So either the ones for Altar Rider, it will be from almost weekly Santa Altar, where Ultra Santa debuted. There we go. It's funny because I was confused because I thought it was going to be the summer ones, but no, it's actually from Christmas 1. And then the other Christmas event Cs will also go to them, whichever one that they correlate to. And to start off of it will be Summer Altar, which her banner will be on the 21st, and it will last until the 28th. And then Ishtar shows up on the 22nd, and hers will go until the 29th. Ereshkigal's here on the 23rd, and then she leaves on the 30th. And then, of course, on the 24th, Vritra is here, and then on the 31st, Vritra is gone. And now, here comes the part where we're going to actually talk about a decent about the amount of these units. So, I'm going to pause so I can switch over to the wiki, which makes it slightly easier to go over the units, and then we'll be back. So, one moment, and we're back. Okay, so we will talk first about Summer Altar. She is a limited servant. She is a writer, and this is her breakdown real quick. She has 2 quicks, 2 arts, 1 buster, 3 hits on quick, 3 hits on arts, 2 hits on buster, and 5 hits on extra. Her active skills are Summer Sweeper A, increases own attack for 3 turns, increases party's quick performance for 3 turns, 30% to attack, 20% to quick, and this is on a cooldown of 6. Her second skill, after strengthening, is Coaching A+, reduces one ally's skill cooldown by 1, increases their critical star generation rate for 3 turns, deals 1,000 damage without killing to them, demerit, 500% chance to grant them build upper delayed buff for 1 turn, a build upper delay increases their max HP for 5 turns after 1 turn, 50% of the star rate, and the HP max HP up is 3,000 on a cooldown of 6. Her third skill is Reload C. It increases own quick performance for 1 attack, 3 turns. Does not mean 30%, and it also is 30% on a cooldown of 3. You read that correctly. I'm not. We'll get into it. Passive skills are Magic Resistance B, Writing B, Independent Action EX. Her append skill is Anti-Saber Attack Damage Aptitude, because trust no one, not even yourself. Then her Noble Phantasm is the Sikake? No, that's not how you say that. That can't be. Morgan. It's the Morgan sword. The Sword of Tenacious Burning Victory. Rank A, anti-army, hits 6 times, it's quick, it deals damage to 1 enemy, charges the own NP gauge by 10%. At NP level 1, it deals 1,200, and if you get it all the way to NP level 5, it's 2,000. And then reduce your critical attack chance for 3 turns. At charge level 1, it's 30%, and if you get it all the way to the final charge level, it is 70%. And then her bond CE is the Mop of Selection. Increases the party's attack by 20%, and then a 500% chance to reduce the party's defense by 50. Why would they give this to her? All right, well, that's her bond CE. Okay, so how do I feel about Summer Salter over here? There's no easy way for me to say this, because I understand there's going to be plenty of people going for her just simply because it is Summer Salter. And if you're deciding to go for it because you like her and you want her in her summer outfit, just know I understand and I support you for going it. But if you are someone who is asking me, is this a good unit? I'm going to have to say no on this one. This is not a very good unit. This is... I don't know what they've did with her design back then, because she came at the same time as like Summer Nero, and Summer Nero has aged 10 times better than this unit. A lot of my issues come from this one specific skill, because it is 30% quick damage for a single attack and then it is gone. So 30% for one quick buff on one attack, even when it is on a cooldown of 3, is insane to me. If this was on a cooldown of 1, I would be a little bit more understanding, but it is not on a cooldown of 1. It is on a cooldown of 3. Her second skill, actually, I think after the strengthening is very interesting just because it reduces one ally's skill cooldown, and it can also be applied to her, which is, I feel like, what they want you to do with some of her design. And I guess it is kind of nice that she can also increase own attack for 3 turns and along with party performance for 3 turns, which is, I guess, where the full 50% quick will come from, because 20% from here and then 30% from here. I just, as someone who has her, I'll just say it's been very hard for me to like find very good uses for her outside of specifically just summer, because it just feels like for the most part I would take almost any other single target rider. Maybe I'm just being a little bit too tough on it, but I'm tough on it because it's specifically for a 5-star. It's kind of like not enough for a 5-star that's also Saber. Come on now, it should be a little bit better. And I hope that one day she does get a buff that makes her like on that level of tier that makes you go, damn, that's an insane unit. But for right now, I think it's only people who should be going for this are the people who want her because she's in a summer outfit. And I'll say this right now, if that's all you care about, I like all 3 of these designs. I really do. The nice simple summer outfit right here, very cool. Maid outfit, not for everyone, but the mop is nice. This is a good look, I think. And stage 3, this is a very cool look. The jacket is awesome. Everything here is awesome. Again, no problems with her design in any kind of capacity. It all simply comes down to the kit that I hope that one day she gets a buff. If you disagree with me, feel free to let me know. Maybe I'm wrong. It's not like I haven't misjudged a unit in the past. And if you feel that strongly enough, let me know how you feel. Then I will gladly read it and I will see if I need another valuation of it. But for right now, I say the only people who should be going for her are diehard fans and people who really like her. That's about it. But to be fair, you could say that about almost 3 out of 4 of these units, because of course it is. They knew what they were doing with this banner, with these banners here. But let me move on to Ishtar, who is an archer. She's also limited. She has 1 quick, 2 arts, 2 buster. 4 hits on quick, 4 hits on arts, 1 hit on buster, and 7 hits on extra. Her active skills are Manifestation of Beauty B, increases party's attack for 3 turns, then increases party's crit damage for 3 turns, 20% to attack, 20% to crit damage, and this is on a cooldown of 5. Her second skill is the Gleaming Brilliant Crown A, an 80% chance to ignore invincibility for 1 turn, an 80% chance to grant self-invincibility for 1 turn, and then charge your own MP gauge by... And didn't charge your own MP gauge. At level 10, she charges it by 50%, and this is on a cooldown of 6. Her third skill is... not this for us for a while. This does not come to us until the 10th anniversary, I believe. So we're going to have the other version of it, just to show the strengthening right here. Yeah, this came a part of the 10-year anniversary, so we're a bit a ways from that. Not there yet, getting very close. So we're going to take a look at this version of it, which is Mana Burst Gems A+, which is a 500% chance to grant self a delayed buff for 1 turn. Unstackable, increases own attack for 1 turn after 1 turn. And the increase you get is 50%, and this is on a cooldown of 3. If you want to see what it eventually turns into, this is what it gets. It's still a 500% chance to grant self a delayed buff for 1 turn. Unstackable, increases own attack for 1 turn after 1 turn. And then party's command codes will not appear except for self for 1 time, 1 turn after 1 turn. Cannot activate if the only party member left on the field. And then increase own buff success rate by 20% for 2 turns. And then the attack up is still 50%. This is still on a cooldown of 3. Passive skills are Magic Resistance A, Independent Action A, Goddess Essence B. Her third skill is an Anti-Ruler Attack Damage Aptitude. And her Noble Phantasm gets a strengthening, but we've had this interlude too for a very long time, so we're not going to look at the old version, just this current version. Is rank EX. It is the Angal Taki Galse, the Mountain Range Shaking Firewood of Venus. Rank EX, anti-mountain, hits 3 times, deals damage to all enemies, and then gain 20 crit stars. On MP level 1, it's 400%, and if you get it all the way to MP level 5, it's 600%. Increased Dome Buster performance for 1 turn, activates first. At charge level 1, it's 20%, and if you get it all the way to the final charge level, it is 60% up to Buster. And then her Guanxi is the 7-headed Warhammer Sita. When equipped to Ishtar, increases party's buster performance by 20%, and then also a 500% chance. Why did they also give her this? 500% chance to reduce party's debuff resistance by 20%. That's a demerit while she is on the field. And that is Ishtar. How do I feel about her? I think she's really good. She's still a very solid looper for archers. In the past, I used to be very annoyed with this skill, Mana Burst, just because it was always a turn afterwards. But honestly, with Vitch coming around, it still just means that it doesn't activate on the first turn, but it will be there on the second turn, and it will be there on the third turn. So I still think it ends up being pretty alright. I can take that. It just means that if there's ever a big burst down that you need to do on the first round, it's going to be a little bit annoying for looping purposes, I'll say. And then when this eventually does get a buff, I think it's a really nice buff. The only problem is that this buff is a very long ways away, and I do like that this buff is able to buff this one without actually just buffing this one. Because the 80% chance to ignore invincibility and 80% chance to grant self-invincibility for a single turn is very annoying when you need to activate it for a very specific moment. So I'm glad it eventually does get to a point where you're going to be able to use this skill and then that one. And you'll be able to basically always have this skill in rotation when you need to be able to like potentially go up with that one. So again, a very simple unit in a lot of what she does. She tries to hit hard, and she does hit hard when you give her the ability to. I've never had a problem with looping with her at all, and I've been using her since basically she released. Yeah, I don't really... If you're looking for an AoE archer and you don't have any of the other big ones like Gilgamesh or Napoleon, or I know I'm missing someone else there from the Tesla. That's the one. Tesla fans will get on your ass if you don't bring up Tesla. Tesla. I made that mistake once. Tesla. Any other the ones I'm missing, forgive me, but you'll see what I'm saying. If you already have another one of those built, then obviously you don't really need Ishtar, because as good as she is, I don't think she all of the archer AoEs are really good for Buster, are really fucking good. It's just that none of them are also so above the other ones that eventually it comes to a point of like, as long as you are happy with the unit that you have and you built them up, then you're good. Like I said, if you likely have Gilgamesh, you don't really need Ishtar, but if you still want to get Ishtar because it is it's Ishtar. I mean, come on, it's Ishtar. I understand there's some people who just simply want to, it's like, I don't even care what the rest of you said, Wookie. I just know that this is someone who looks like Rin. That's good enough for me. But there you go. That's how I first basically feel. Solid unit, really like her over the years, has aged pretty well, and I'm very unfortunate that this buff is coming very much later, but it is nice that it is eventually coming, because it does help fix up one of the weaknesses that I think she has in her kit, which is that this 80% thing is annoying to rely on. Because when that 20% failure rate happens, oh boy, it will always be when you don't want it to. I felt it, trust me. It's over the years, it's happened enough times where I'm like, okay, I just need you to get the invincibility, and then she just, that one day she decides I don't want to activate it, and she just looks at you like Pa Kent putting up the hands, and I go, all right, Ishtar, I guess you just wanted to die. Speaking of dying, Ereshkigal, another limited servant. She's a lancer. She has 2 quicks, 1 arts, 2 buster, and her skills are, which are, well, I just realized the Secret Great Crown A+ was actually supposed to be strengthened during Evocation Festival 7, but I had to actually pause the video a bit because I was like, wait a minute, this is supposed to be here. So yeah, you can see here, this was the game update here where they added this, but when I looked over here, I had to double check. Did I miss it? No, I didn't miss it. I even checked on the oops. On this one, did I miss it somehow? But I don't think I did. Like, I don't think I missed any announcement that it was, maybe they just forgot? That's also likely, but it should, either way, I assume, and it wasn't added early, so I'm going to say that they just kind of forgot to announce it, and we'll get an announcement of this one, unless it was like different on JP, where this one came out like a couple days after or something. I wouldn't be able to know that because I wasn't playing. Obviously, I don't play the JP version of the game. I play this one pretty exclusively. But anyway, this is what the strengthened version is going to be. The Secret Great Crown A+, which is a chance to grant self debuff immunity for 1 turn, chance to grant self instant kill immunity for 1 turn, chance to increase own buff removal resistance by 100% for 1 turn, and then grant self invincibility for 1 turn, and then reduces own skill cooldowns by 1. 100% to debuff immunity chance, instant kill immunity chance, and buff removal resistance chance, and this is on a cooldown of 6. And then if we go over here to this version of it, you can see that all it does is grants the self debuff immunity for 1 turn, and then the other stuff kind of gets granted for 1 turn. So the thing that they added here was making the debuff chance better, because it was at 80%, 80%, 80%, and then they just made it 100%, 100%, 100% across the board. And they also added in the thing about reducing your own skill cooldowns by 1, which is very nice, which we'll get a little bit more talk about it pretty soon. Her second skill is Mana Burst KJ Plus, increases own buster performance for 1 turn, then charges on NP gauge, and this is a 50% buster up, and this is 50% NP up on a cooldown of 6 at level 10. And then her third skill is the Blessing of Kur EX, grants party the Blessing of Kur buff for 3 turns, it's unstackable. Increases party's defense for 3 turns, increases party's MP generation rate for 3 turns, and increases party's max HP for 3 turns, 20% to defense, 30% to NP rate, and 3,000 max HP increase, and then the cooldown is 6. Passive skills are Magic Resistance D, Territory Creation A+, Goddess Essence B. Her third append skill, is an Anti-Assassin attack damage aptitude. And her Noble Phantasm, after a strengthening, is Kur, which this one is in the game. I double checked my own copy just to be sure. It's in the game. Is Kuriki Gal Erdekala, the Bellows of Kur that tramples upon Iker. Rank A+, anti-mountain, hits 5 times, it's Buster. It deals damage to all enemies. It deals 150% extra bonus damage against the Earth attribute, and it increases the attack of all allies with the Blessing of Kur buff by 20% for 3 turns. Increases their critical attack chance resistance by 20% for 3 turns. Grant them instant kill immunity for 3 turns. At NP level 1, it's 400%, and if you get it all the way to NP level 5, it's 600%. And then her overcharge effect is increase own buster performance for 1 turn. This activates first. 10% to buster at charge level 1, and if you get it all the way to the final final charge level, it's 50% to buster. And then you can see here that she has a little bonus outfit here, which is Ereshkigal Altar, basically, that you get after Lost Belt 7. And then her Bon CE is the Blooming Flowers in Kur. When equipped to Ereshkigal, increases party's buster performance by 10%, and then increases party's NP damage by 10% while she is on the field. And that is Ereshkigal. So, how is she? She's also extremely good. She's very good. I really like using her as an AoE Buster Lancer. Now, obviously, if you're someone who is saying, well, is she the absolute best? I would say that the absolute best in the game is Melusine, because Melusine is able to kind of effortlessly give herself 100% NP, which is kind of insane. The nice thing is that with Ereshkigal's buff that's coming a little bit later, is that she reduces her own skill cooldown, so that gives her really funny synergy with skill reloading. So if I remember right, you're able to get your skills pretty quickly back, especially if you're also using Vich, which can lead to some really fun, silly things like while you're doing things. So it is a good added bonus. I really do like her. She also is able to, obviously Melusine is all kind of about dealing non-stop and effective damage, and Ereshkigal gives a little bit more to the party, so obviously there's a reason you would be able to use both of them. When you want to just absolutely make sure to murder someone, you bring in Melu. And if you want to give your party a little bit more buffs along the way and be a little bit more cohesive in terms of team battle, you can bring her along too. Plus, eventually when we get to the point where we're going to be doing grand fights, it would actually kind of be nice to have a unit that can provide a little bit of support. And also do a little DPS after her Noble Phantasm, because she'll be able to hit with her Noble Phantasm and do all this nice stuff, and then give some nice party buffs along the way. So again, I think she's a really solid, really good unit. Also, the ability to give yourself instant kill immunity and self debuff immunity can be very nice in some very specific challenge quests that aren't always here. It's not like I'm saying like, oh my god, if you don't have instant kill immunity, you can't beat the game. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying occasionally there'll be a little silly fight where they'll say like, if you want to get a single ticket on this one, the gimmick on this one is that they're going to be killing all the time. If you have a unit that's just like, what if I just ignore that? Then they'll go like, oh, okay, well, I guess never mind. Fuck me on that, I guess. So it is nice to have a unit like this kind of back up to them. But that's Ereshkigal. I think most people don't give a damn what she does, because again, it's someone who's like, listen, Wookie, chips on the table, I'm all in. This is someone who looks like Rin. What the unit does afterwards, it's nice that she can do all this, but we know why we're here. We both know. And listen, I get it. I'm saving those 300 tickets for specifically Space Ereshkigal. Big fan of her. She could be the dirt worst unit in the world, and I would summon for her and get her. Hell, I knew that this unit was bad and I got her. So trust me when I say I wish you the best of luck, and you should. It's much easier to play this game when you're just like, I just really like this unit because they're based off of this character I like. Woo! And then finally, this is the only unit that, again, I can go over, but I can just kill you the quick one because they're not limited. There's not a whole lot of reason for them because you can always just randomly get them, but it's Vritra. But we'll go over her just to be fair to the others because I also like my girl here, and she doesn't get talked about all that much, I feel. Anyway, Vritra, she is a Lancer. She is not limited, so that means you can always randomly get her someday. Not to say that it's always possible, but we'll get into that a little bit more. She has 2 quicks, 2 arts, 1 buster, 4 hits on quick, 3 hits on arts, 2 hits on buster, 5 hits on extra. Her active skills are the all-penetrating Varja, rank A, increases own arts performance for 3 turns, increases own critical star absorption of arch guards for 1 turn, 30% to arts, 500% to arts absorption, this is on a cooldown of 5. Her second skill is the Predestined Divine Threat A, increases party's damage against divine enemies for 3 turns, then charges own NP gauge, 30% against the divine and 30% to NP, and this is on a cooldown of 6. Her third skill is the Eternal Immortal Demon EX, grants self gut status for 1 time 5 turns, increases NP gauge every turn for 5 turns, and then increases party's NP damage for 1 time 5 turns. Revives with 3000 HP, 10% to NP regen, and the NP damage is 20%. For that single time over the 5 turns, and this is on a cooldown of 7. And her passive skills are Magic Resistance A, Dragonkind A, which is an increased own buster performance by 10%, and then reduce own damage taken by 180. And her pen skills are Anti-Avenger Attack Damage Aptitude, which is an increased own attack against the Avenger enemies. And her noble Phantasm is the Asurta Shrista, the O Demon Cover All the Heaven and Earth, rank EX, Anti-World, hits 3 times, deals damage to all enemies, seal their skills for 1 turn, reduces their critical attack chance by 20% for 3 turns. At MP level 1, it's 450%, and if you get her all the way to MP level 5, it's 750%, and then reduce their arts resistance for 3 turns. At charge level 1, it's 10%, and if you get her all the way to the final charge level, it's 30%. And her bond CE is... oh, she also does have a little outfit here, which I did not realize she had one. Ooh, this is nice, which is like a little white alternate outfit of this one. I forgot that they gave her this. I'm gonna be 100% real for you. Not in our version of the game just yet, but when is it here? She gets it during Indra's Great Trials. So there we go. You'll be able to get that when it gets there. It's pretty good. It's a very nice outfit. I like it. And her bond CE is the Natural Dam Boundary. When equipped to Vritra, increases party's damage against the divine enemies by 20% while self is on the field. And there you go. That's Vritra. So how is she? So obviously the big negative here is she's just not limited. And in this game, it's very hard to kind of justify going for 5 stars that are not limited, because in the back of your mind, you can always go, well, I can always get them kind of randomly at any time. And if you're saying to me, Wookie, how often does that happen? It literally happened to me. I was like, I would really like for... she's right here. I'm going to Assassin just a little bit here. I said I really would like Kashin Koji. I didn't really do much summons for her because I said, I bet you randomly I'll just kind of get her. And I did randomly just get her. And I have been using her for grinding stuff since then. But you see, my point here is that because they are not limited, it's very hard to be like, you should try and go for them when you could always just randomly get them while you're also going for the limited unit that you're failing to get. You see what I'm saying? But the other thing I'll say is that if you're a big fan of the character, these are the best banners for you to be summoning on. Because let's say you are someone who's just like, I love Vritra so much, Wookie. You don't understand. I'm trying to get her MP5 and it's hell. These are why these banners exist. It's for people like specifically you who say, I love this character so much, I need to get them to NP5, and it's actual hell trying to randomly get them to NP5. I need a dedicated banner. That's why these exist, and it's actually nice whenever they do them because it's for people like that. And it's for the hardcore Vritra fans. How many of them are there? I don't know. obviously, like I said, I didn't even realize that she had a costume dress, and I'm actually someone who does like Vritra, but I've never even seen people try and do art for her, and that's just kind of a bummer in that outfit, because it's a really nice outfit, and I kind of wish more people kind of gave her the time of day, because I love her design. I think it's a really cool ass design. I also think her character's pretty cool too. I like the whole, like, I'm the evil that the hero must triumph over, so I really want you to do your best, because that's when it's the most entertaining for me. I think that's a really cool thing that she has. In terms of the unit, it's a very solid unit. There's like no real complaints from me on here. The one thing I could complain about is the increased party's MP damage, which I've said before. One time kind of like is like especially with 20%, but considering that she's also, it has additional buffs to it, I'm just kind of like, okay, I guess the party will occasionally get this, but it is a little bit annoying that it is just not, like, it is only for a single time. I would even take 3 times over 5 turns or something, but it's fine. It just means that she's still a perfectly fine unit even without that little buff to her. Very simple in terms of design, but effective in what she can kind of do. Another thing that I think is a little bit of a bummer is that this does not activate first, a reduction to arch resistance. So that means you'll hit them with your Noble Phantasm, and then they will take the art resistance, which is a shame. But again, the ability to seal, pretty nice. I think it's an overall very solid, decent unit. If you end up if you end up randomly getting them, I could see you using them for sure. I've also seen in the past that in terms of some builds for some other fight, like she was really big on the Koyanskaya fight back when that raid was happening. I remember that there were some specific team builds with her just because she was able to give the party some extra divine damage against them, which is also very nice when you're able to give it to the party like that. So not only is she giving a little bit of divine, she's also giving a little bit of MP damage. And if I remember right, I think Indra is the grand fight for Lancer. Give me a sec. Okay, quick cut there, but yes, it is Indra, and Indra is of course divine. So being able to give your team, and if you're in a grand duel kind of setting, the ability to have just a little bit more damage against the divine is pretty nice in that kind of instance, of course. Not saying that it makes them like, oh, so crazy broken, but again, being able to find uses for a lot of these units is the way to play Fake Grand Order, I would say. If you're not looking for those little uses, I guess what you're doing is just looking for the one who just kills instantly. Which I guess fair enough. We all play this game for different reasons. But anyway, that's finally it. Talking about all those banner units. I did all of them because I knew if I only did one of them, I would not be able to get to the rest of them. So I just did them all and said, screw it. It's going to be a long video. It's okay. But we rated to the end, everyone. Again, if you're going for any of the banner units, I wish you the best of luck. I'm really curious to see if Ereshkigal is going to get her skill. I assume yes, she is. It would be funny if she did get it. I don't know what the hell they would be saving it for. I assume it's going to happen. But I thank you very much for making it all the way to the end. I appreciate it a whole bunch. I'm getting ready to get back into the groove of doing normal things soon. I still need to finish Clashing Moon. I got like about a week left in the event. It's time to just seriously lock in and do everything. I kind of lost a little bit of time to MLK Day, but it's okay because I spent it watching Guardians of the Galaxy 3 with my mom, so that was a lot of fun. Very good movie, of course. I'm digressing. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. I wish you the best of luck, and until next time, see you later. Bye-bye. The video's over now. Peace.